Don't you get up.
I can do that. I'm native, guys. Jacob Dines.
Nope.
All right.
You could be friends with them. Imagine that.
Wow.
Right? Imagine that.
Building a community. If you guys find yourself at SHOT Show, make your way down to the Tacticon booth and you can get yourself a little sappy cut pass holder with a little camouflage pattern. You can hold your thing back here and you can put a little pen back here, okay, and you can put a little patch down here, okay, and some little Velcro, okay.
Don't be an asshole. Get your pass holder.
Ooh, that's good.
Welcome, my two-way proliferators out there.
It's so weird with the not seeing the camera.
I know. Yeah, I don't look at that one anyway.
I'm tripping out right now.
That is the teleprompter, but we don't have a teleprompter going.
I'm just going to double check and make sure it's...
There it is. Now I can see myself. Now we're good.
Now we know.
Welcome to the two-way Procast, my little two-way proliferators.
I do not welcome you.
He does not. He doth not welcome you.
I doth not.
A little PSA. Content may be running a little dry here pretty soon, ladies and gents. We will continue the podcast, but we are doing the two-way pro course right now.
And I'm also getting fired.
And I'm going to shit can him, bottom of the barrel. So what's going down? My name is Jake. If you don't already know, if you've just tuned in, this is Nolando, a.k.a. the Sandalorian. And we're working on a little two-way pro course, which is going to enable Americans to get into the Second Amendment business realm, start your company digitally, just as we did and grew from in my garage to 40 employees, over 75 million in revenue, and all those great things that allow us to continue to serve the Second Amendment.
Just little things.
But it's obviously one of these courses that I am very passionate about, because when you and I talked, I told you that there is only one goal that I have for the rest of my life.
Bingo.
Is professionally, a professional goal, if you will. Obviously, being a good father and husband and member of my community is another one. But professionally, my goal is to preserve and protect the Second Amendment, and provide awareness to it, to those up and coming young bucks entering their adulthood. And this is one way that I want to do it. Now, obviously, there is the course is gated. The course is paid, but there's a reason for that, because we exhaust a lot of resources going into this course, a lot of resources. And I'm saying the community that's going to be built into this is going to have all of the top level people in my company are going to be involved in it. Everybody from our engineer to our graphic designer to you.
I'm not top level. Don't say that.
Anybody that's worth their weight in salt around here that has experience in doing what we do, you could tap them for information, and I will be available in there as well. So it's just, there's nothing else like it.
It's the banquet. It's the banquet hall of courses.
I'm telling you, there's literally nothing else like what we're about to do, showing you step one all the way up to where we're at right now.
Can I interject with this really quick?
Go ahead.
Because we
talk. If you want to be a part of this, just before we move on, before I forget, if you want to be a part of this, offering probably it's going to be an insane discount, 75, 80% off for the first few people, the first few cats that get into it, because we're talking about it's not going to be done. Right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be completely finished.
It's a long project.
You're going to have enough to keep you busy, and there's enough to wet your beak by the time it goes live next month. But the first 50 actual signups, not sign up on the email list, but actually people that purchase it, I'm going to give the cray discount to. So just to let you know, I mean, this is about spreading awareness to it. But I also will say this, and then I promise you can come into this. Where we do get philanthropic with this, obviously we have to cover costs on the course, but where we do get philanthropic with this is the marketplace.
Correct.
Were you going to touch on that?
No.
Okay.
I was going to touch on how many courses you've taken.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second. The 2waypro.com we've knocked off Amazon, essentially. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
We just literally took it and we duplicated it, replicated it in every single fashion that I possibly could.
Amazon
and the
has-
reason why is because the reason why we could do that in a third-party marketplace where you go on as a seller and sell your stuff is because we don't have to compete with them in this industry because
they don't like this industry.
No, they don't like this industry. 90% of the shit that we sell that you're going to sell if you end up joining the course and starting a business is not allowed on Amazon. So you don't have to compete with Amazon or
Fucking Ninja Stars,
or
you can sell.
Target Plus or Walmart.com, any of those places. So yeah, you can actually get on there and sell what you want to, and it acts as the same third-party marketplace with the same features that
Think
Amazon
about
does.
it like an awesome Amazon that butt fucked Etsy,
Yeah. And had a
but
little,
it's for guns.
a little baby, but for guns,
Yeah.
indeed. And so the reason why I say
Guns
that,
and gear.
so on that site, there is a commission that is earned just like there is on Amazon. But the difference is that site, 2apro.com, 100% of the profits. And I'm not saying like a portion of everything that you get gets donated to the FBC. 100% of the profits that are going to go into that marketplace gets donated to an agency of your choice. So we're going to have like a little drop down of
You can choose.
you could choose.
Yeah.
That is going to be the goal, or at least we vote on where it goes. I haven't exactly figured out how we're going to do that, but it's going to go to a reputable agency that supports the Second Amendment, like Gun Rights of America. And,
So now, mind you, for those who are like 100%, that's amazing, and then they'll look into it and they'll be like, why is it only
8%? Well, that's because 7% of it was the cost of running the actual platform.
the cost that it is required to keep the platform up and running will be deducted from that. All of everything else.
Imagine
that
if
goes.
think about Jeff Bezos right now. This is the way that I envision this
I'm thinking
process
about
with the marketplace. Think about all the money that he has that he earned personally from the profits that came into Amazon. Now imagine taking that entire chunk, everything that he's used to put things in space, and instead of doing that, dumped it into the Second Amendment.
Yeah, that's a great.
Holy shit!
Instead of building penis
Everybody
rockets,
would have instead of building penis rockets.
We might build penis rockets, but small scale.
So I'm not saying it's going to be the next Amazon, but I hope that it does get there. I hope that it is a $1 billion company, because I will not benefit from it being a $1 billion company other than we will all benefit from the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm saying it out the gate, there are no profits touched from that company other than the Second Amendment. That is, it is going to be solely pumped into that. So I'm pumped, man. If we can get, you can imagine every sale that happens on that site is not only a firearm related sale, or most likely going to be some type of firearm related sale or
Second Amendment related sale.
Second Amendment related sale, but then all the profits from that goes to feed the machine that protects it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'm just
imagine like
super
paying
excited about it.
taxes, but instead you do it by your own volition, and it's not forced upon you,
Yeah.
and it serves you.
Yeah, because you're going to have to pay a commission to a marketplace regardless. You got to pay it to Etsy.
So it's
you gotta
nothing
pay it
like
to
taxes.
Yeah, see, yeah, it's like taxes that goes right back into the Second Amendment. Is
Yeah.
really what it is.
It's the whole goal. It's
But
the
that's
whole
what's
point.
been going on behind the scenes for like
Yes.
the last couple of years with me, is building that out, building the community for the course, and now getting into the course. What were you going to say about the course that I've taken?
I was gonna say for those of you who might just be tuning in, Jacob Dines here has taken a plethora of courses. I'm pretty sure there was a large 6 to 8 month span there where every week I would walk into your office, you go, so I'm taking this new course.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this new course. So I just tried this new course.
Dude, I've spent I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on courses to see what works and what doesn't.
So in case you guys are wondering why you would want to take this course, sleazy sales pitch. He's taken all the other courses.
Yeah.
So instead of spending all the money you would spend on taking other courses, you could spend it on him who's taking the courses.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's literally gonna. I mean, some of the courses that I bought are anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000.
Right.
And this is gonna be nowhere near that, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a distillation of everything that I've taken, and trying to make it as concise as possible. The only thing that I really give a shit about in the entire course is just the success of the students that are in it.
Right.
You know, and if they're not successful, then that just means the only way this wouldn't work is if you're not doing the work. Period.
Right.
It's the only way it wouldn't work. I know it fucking works. I try it with every single thing I do, every little side project we launch that's successful.
It works because the lights are on.
It's a blueprint, dude.
Right.
The formula works. It's kind of like plugging anything into a machine that spits something else out. You know,
It's like ChatGPT. GPT.
There's that whole thing with Grant Cardone, right? Where Discovery Channel did a thing on that dude where they said, look, if we stripped you of your name, your clout, your credibility, your contacts, your money, shaved your head, made you unrecognizable, and put you in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the United States, which is this city in New Mexico, could you generate $1 million again? Like, how long do you think it would take you to generate $1 million? And he said, well, it'd take me 90 days. No money, no nothing, no clout, no contacts, right? Just based on the knowledge that he had. He said it would take me 90 days. And in 90 days, that dude built a $5.5 million business.
Jesus.
It was incredible.
Christ.
It was incredible seeing that transformation, because the thing about that is, the reason why that's so cool is because it really isn't about, of course, the shit that you have and the capital to start and all those things, that it's all part of it.
Right.
But it is a very small part of it. Once you gain the knowledge, once you learn how to do something, you will just never want for anything again. You'll never be poor. You won't be scared. The fear will be gone, because I know if I lost all this today, I could rebuild it. And I could rebuild it not even in the tactical industry. It's rinse and repeat for any industry. It's not just for the firearm industry. This course is like it literally, I owned a baby clothing company before this.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking rinse and repeat, dude. You can do it with anything. Like, it is. You know, digital is digital, e-commerce is e-commerce, marketing is marketing. You just take that, plug it into this particular model.
Right.
And it works. But having said that, I wanted to dive in real quick and give you a little chunky brewster out of this. If you want a link to sign up for the interest list, it'll be down in the description of this YouTube video.
Question. Would you consider this a taste test, or would you consider this a sampler?
Ooh, this is like, no, yeah, this is just kind of a taste test.
Okay.
Little taste test to see how it tastes.
We're tipping our toe.
Yeah, so this is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you part of the script in module 4, which is just about leverage. It's kind of like the beginning of the course. It's like towards the start of the course where we talk about mindset before we really get into the meat and potatoes of the course. And
I didn't know we were talking about setting minds.
Setting minds, indeed. Well, mindset's the most important thing, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's when you set a minefield, you don't allow soldiers to cross it.
Or did I not enunciate my D?
Oh, it's mind.
Mindset.
My bad.
Mindset. We are not setting minds. So I am setting minds.
I'm sorry about
so
my
y'all
tism.
motherfuckers can blow up. You know what I mean? Oh, you look what I did.
Oh,
See
that
what
was
I did there?
good. That was
You
good.
like that?
Yeah.
You like that? But this is module 4. This is about leverage. And what's really cool about this is, while it's a taste of the course that applies, it really is kind of a rich snippet for anybody to hear today. I really think that this can apply to anybody, even somebody that's not starting a business, just any walk of life, really. It's so I'm going to read to you this section of the course. It'll only take a few minutes. And here we go. Give me a place to stand, a lever long enough, and I will move the world. That was Archimedes. This statement is a testament to the power of leverage. With the right tools and strategic application of force, even seemingly impossible tasks can be achieved. Throughout this course, you will hear me repeat this concept of leverage. I will beat on this drum over and over because it's imperative to growth. In this amazing modern era of technology we are in, you can 10x your outputs with very little inputs. The things I was able to do to scale my company 9 years ago would have required 10x the inputs 25 years ago. That within the traditional bounds of business, you will want, I don't know, I clearly made a fucking mistake right here in my
it's a
script.
little typo.
The point that I was trying to get at here is, you will be tempted to do things within the traditional bounds of business. And then there should have been a period, because we know business is this. We are like, well, we've got to go get our LLC set up, and then we've got to go get our tax ID, and I need to go get my insurance, and I need to work on my logo. None of that shit is correct, and all of that shit will hold you back. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. But this is why we are different. We as Tacticon, we as 2A Pro, and we as the course. This is how David defeats Goliath. There are no rules when running your company, so long as they are within the bounds of the law. Think about the big disruptors in the world of business. None of them played by traditional rules. Uber didn't set out to create a better taxi business. They reinvented it. Now go back to Archimedes' lever. Go back to that lever example that I gave you a minute ago, right? So give me a place to stand, a lever long enough, and I will move the world. Uber's place to stand, using that analogy, was the demand gap in the market between traditional slow transportation and more cost-effective and efficient transportation. Uber's lever, as part of that analogy, was its innovative business model combined with cutting-edge technology. And the world that Uber moved, that we used in that analogy, is the global taxi and personal transportation industry. Now, the public transportation and taxi industry were behemoths taken down by a mobile app and some gig workers. Traditional publishers have been left in the dust by Amazon's ability to digitize publishing with Kindle and ebooks. So how does a small company take market share? You have the ability to do things that the bigger boys can't. And this is kind of where Tacticon thrived in the midst of all this, is because we were surrounded by a bunch of basically companies that were owned by other holding companies that had this like endless amount of capital.
Vista Outdoors.
And they're just, everybody's fucking owned by Vista Outdoors. And how do you compete with companies like that, with Safariland, with Point Blank Armor? So, how does a company take market share? You have the ability to do things that the bigger boys can't. You can get to know your customers. You can connect with each social media follower because you probably will have very few in the beginning. You could be friends with them. Imagine that.
Wow.
Right? Imagine that.
Building a community.
Friends with your customers. Who says you can't? We were just at the range day with a dozen of them this year.
Yeah.
Right.
That was awesome.
So, which was amazing.
We'll talk about that too.
When my company was smaller, I was able to handwrite letters to every single customer who ordered a product. Even to this day, I have customers who still order from me and who remember that I did that. Doing things outside the realm of normal can make a huge impact. When we started manufacturing body armor, we were able to work directly with small departments and teams to develop a better spec'd out product for them and their mission. We listened to them. We didn't tell them what they wanted. Instead, we designed around their specs. Our massive competitors like Point Blank and Safariland wouldn't give them the time of day. Being small has very distinct advantages and incredibly unique points of leverage. Black Rifle Coffee Company sells less than 10% of the coffee volume that Folgers sells, but no one's wearing Folgers t-shirts. When is the last time you saw Folgers Coffee Company bumper sticker? But what happened to Black Rifle Coffee Company when they went public on the stock market exchange is they were beholden to their shareholders. Their message became diluted. They couldn't take the riskier and more controversial stands about polarizing topics like they used to. Their business expanded, but their fan base contracted. When it comes to customers, big brands have quantity. Smaller brands have loyalty, even cult followings. At Tacticon, we built a community so entrenched in our mission to serve the Second Amendment that some customers have had our logo tattooed on them. They didn't get the tattoo because they liked our products. They did it because they believe in our mission. The brand reflects an imperative purpose that transcends tactical equipment. We sit atop the shoulders of great men who founded this country. The preservation of freedom is what fans the flames of allegiance to our brand, not the product. There is depth and weight behind what we do. So do more with less, and the volume will come organically. Use your size to your advantage. The ability to pivot quickly and take decisive action is invaluable. Use to your advantage the lack of bureaucratic red tape and the absence of approval processes, SOPs, and accounting requirements. Use to your advantage the sheer fact that in the beginning, no one knows who you are because you're not on anyone's radar. You can unapologetically make mistakes and test, and nothing will break. Moving forward, here's my directive to you. Instead of asking, should I do this? Or can I do this? Ask yourself, why not? Or why the fuck not? Instead of telling yourself, but no one else is doing this. Reframe that statement to, I'll be the only one. And most of all, remember, there are no rules. There are only laws.
Ooh, that's good.
So that is a little taste test of, that's more of like the kind of just the mindset part of the course.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no real directive there other than, look, get out there and just try shit. It doesn't matter. Shit will break. People will be offended. But nobody will fucking notice because you're too small to notice.
Right.
And by the time you are big enough to notice, you will find your stride. And you get to a point where momentum is so great in business that you're just kind of, it doesn't matter anymore. It's unstoppable. Some of the shit that we did, if we were to do that a long time ago, it may have stifled our growth, you know? But now there's so much momentum doing what we're doing that I say we, as in like the people that are listening to this podcast right now, because the thing is if we create an opinion, if we disseminate an opinion and we stand behind it with facts and people attack us, all of our friends that are watching this right now, they come in and support us. I mean, you see in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, we could have dissenting opinion, and we could believe what we're in. And, you know, if people are offended by it, that's no problem. I'll happily engage in a healthy debate. But when facts are not being remitted in the comments, that's when everybody else kind of comes to the rescue. But all these guys and you know that are watching right now, they come in and they're like, "That's not true. That is fucking false." But when you don't have that type of support like we do, you can get enough people in there to make everybody else believe that what you're saying isn't true.
Right.
You know,
it is. It's weird. It's very weird. The internet's a strange place how that works. You get ratioed far enough, and then all of a sudden it's like...
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's you get ratioed. Yeah. So, yeah, if you get ratioed far enough, then nobody ends up believing what you're saying. Unfortunately,
which can work out for the better and for the worse.
It can, because people should get fucking ratioed sometimes, especially when what they're saying is false. But
I completely agree.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. You know, that's kind of my piece on, especially like with leverage. There's just so much opportunity, dude. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. This is gonna either sound real deep and you're gonna appreciate it, or you're gonna think I'm a fucking idiot. It's gonna go.
I love this.
It's gonna go one of two ways.
Please
think about how fucking lucky we are. We are not ants, birds, dogs, frogs, fish. We are fucking humans. Humans with the ability to think, make decisions, love, have compassion, build businesses, get creative. That's what we were born into.
Yeah.
A human being. Mm-hmm. Second to that, we're fucking born in the United States. Like, we are in the U.S. There's so much opportunity here. Not only were you a human and not anything else, you're a fucking human in the U.S. And I was thinking about this the other day, I don't know why it popped into my head, but I was like, how fucking lucky am I? And not only am I a human inside the United States, I'm a human that's not afflicted with any diseases. I'm fairly healthy. I have I have 10 fingers. I have
5 fingers on each hand.
On each hand. You know, I'm not, I'm pretty ADHD, borderline autistic. I get that. But, it really is it's a fucking blessing, dude. Like, and I don't think we sit back and really think about just how fucking great we've got it, dude. Like, it's amazing to have the opportunity that we have. And so just as soon as I used to think about this all the time when I was just fucking miserable working my other job.
Right.
I was like, when I was working for somebody, and it didn't, it helped in brief moments, but I would be like, dude, what are you bitching about, man? Like, you go home and you turn the water faucet on. You got running water in your sink. Clean running water that you can drink in your sink. You don't have to wonder where the next meal is coming from. You have to wonder if enough people, liked your Facebook post. I mean, like, the shit that we worry about.
Dude,
if you put it in perspective, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm not some savant in this spiritual game. I fucking fall short all the time. I'll get done with this podcast. I'll get in my truck. I'll go home to my family. And on the way there, I'll probably yell at a red light. You know what I mean?
I'm guaranteed going to yell at a red light.
So.
But no, mindset is one of the most important and crucial things to anything that you are going to do and you're going to practice in life, whether it's business, interpersonal relationships, jerking off, anything. Mindset is the most important and crucial thing to just walking around on the planet. Yeah. And like you're saying about being grateful, obviously everything is situational and everything is subjective. Right? Yeah. What is a problem to the Valley girl when her phone doesn't work and doesn't have reception is a real problem to her.
Right.
Is it a problem?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it's a problem to her, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I was very lucky at a young age to have a pen pal. So I grew up evangelical Christian. That's where like the center of my like childhood was, right? So my parents signed up through the church in a program that was like, we sponsored a kid over in Uganda, right? Yep. And I became pen pals with him. We would write back and forth. Mm-hmm. When I was young, I was probably 6 years old. I'm writing this kid in Uganda, and he's talking to me about how grateful he is to be able to walk to school. I'm 6 years old and I hate school.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm so happy I get to walk to school.
Interesting.
And then I'm like,
Yeah.
shit. And so we talk back and forth a little bit more. My mom's obviously helping me, like, you should ask him about this. You should, right? I'm not just like, I'm an idiot. I'm 6 years old. But he was telling me a little bit about his backstory. He's a couple years older than me. So I was 6. He's like 10, I think. So he's about 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he said, it's just, because I asked about his family. And he said, well, it is just me and my sister. When I was 8, I had to hack my mother to death because freedom fighters came and said either sister or mother.
Holy shit.
He killed his own mom with a machete to save his sister's life.
Fuck.
And I think about that every day I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
I go, well, I didn't have to kill my mom with a machete.
It can always get worse.
It can
man.
always get worse. And now I get it. It's in the situation. It's hard, right?
It is when you're in it, dude. It really is. And that's the real spiritual move, right? Is being able to say, I'm in this thing that's happening to me right now, kind of getting existential a little bit, like, or I'm sorry, that's the wrong word, but getting out of body and kind of looking at yourself subjectively and saying, hey, like, I am aware that I'm being like this, and I am aware that I need to start thinking like this.
Right.
It's very hard to do, but men with a lot of spirituality and spiritual practice can do that. They can pull themselves out of that situation.
You can pull
and go,
yourself back.
I recognize what's happening right now, and I need to not be behaving like this or feeling like this. I mean, it's okay to feel a certain way, but your feelings don't matter. I mean, we all know that.
Because just because something else is worse, like somebody else has had it worse, doesn't discredit what you're going through.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
getting a flat tire doesn't make me happy just because some people don't have tires.
Right. Right. So, I'm still pissed.
Yeah, I'm still
but you can at
mad.
least kind of pull yourself back and go, this could be worse. I'm grateful it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always be grateful about something. And like you said, just being able to wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and go,
yeah.
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. And you know, the other thing, man, is I've never, and I can say this with full confidence, I've never been in a bad situation. I've never had something terrible happen to me where some really, really good shit didn't come out of it.
Right.
It is inevitable that no
one
matter
door closes, another one opens.
It works like that
Every
all
time.
the time. There's this clip from Jocko Willix that says he's got this. It is just a fucking complete viral short, and I pull it up whenever I am sad. I've got it saved on my phone, and he goes, anytime anything is going wrong, I say good. And the whole purpose behind him saying good, right, is that he knows that there is going to be growth behind it, because at the bare minimum, bad shit's going to happen to you, and good shit is on the other side of that door. Growth is on the other side of the door. Even if nothing else good comes out of that, even if it's a terrible incident and you have to walk through it and swim through that shit, the only thing that's going to come out of that is so long as you don't duck and hide, is you become a stronger individual with more experience, learning how to cope in a situation that life has put you in, similar to that.
It's kind of like this. So, like, obviously the easy analogy or metaphor or comparison, whatever, big words. Go to the gym, right? You go to the gym, you lift weights, it hurts, it sucks, you're sore, you get stronger, you get bigger muscles, right? That idea of it hurts, it sucks, good. Like, I think about it a lot. One of the canon moments in my life was when my brother died.
Right.
And it's always interesting because, like, when I'm talking about my life to other people and, like, whenever that gets brought up, they're always like, I'm so sorry. Like, that empathy, right? Which, is beautiful. But to me, I'm just like, that's the reason I am who I am.
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason this entire person exists.
Yeah.
And so, like, that idea of good, it really is. Like, if I could go back and stop that event from happening, obviously I would.
Of course.
Right? But it happened, and I became a better person out of it.
Not to mention it happened.
It happened.
There's nothing you can fucking do about
Nope.
it. What are you going to do?
Can't.
Yeah, you swim around in your fucking feelings for a whole long period of time and make your life incredibly worse. There has been multiple occasions where something bad has happened to me and I've made it a whole lot worse because I chose not to go down the path of just dealing with it, learning how to make it better. So instead, I go down this path of self-sabotage or sabotaging others because I'm unhappy about the situation at hand. A good example is wife does something, I don't like it, right? Instead of saying, okay, that upsets me, I'm gonna do better next time, right? Because she's not happy because of something that I may have done. I'll do better next time. Sometimes, and I do this a lot less now, but it is, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna make it even worse. I'm gonna continue down with this bad behavior. I'm gonna continue to piss her off because what's the point now? Well, the point is, if I could go back and wring my own fucking neck, slap myself around a little bit,
Probably would.
I would say the point of all this is you should learn not to do dumb shit that's going to upset her, especially when I am absolutely and most definitely in the wrong. And don't make it worse than it already fucking is, dumbass, because it can always get worse because something small might happen and it's no longer about that thing. It's about how I reacted to the fucking thing.
Oh,
I can't tell you how many times, like,
It's every time.
There's been an argument. It's almost every time where the only reason it got big, it could have been just as small as it started. But the only reason it got big, when people are like, oh, the argument just kept growing and we just can't get along and things compounded and we can't get along and we can't get along and can't get along. You can't do that because you are creating an environment in which you cannot get along. Because if you would have just addressed that first thing and instead of compounding on it, and now these things have to be addressed, by the time you get 10 miles down the fucking road, you look back and you don't know what started the fire.
Yeah.
Where was the kindling? And that's all it was initially. It starts out as something very small, like kindling, and then it turns into this fucking forest fire that can't be put out. And that's why and then you end up in fucking therapy or divorced or,
The biggest arguments Carly and I have ever been in, like the worst and the biggest ones, which we obviously have never had any, right, babe?
Yeah.
The worst ones. At the end of it all, we always look back and go, what the fuck are we even arguing about?
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it's always been because, like you said, the reaction to the situation,
reaction.
She'll get mad about something. And instead of me going, hey, listen, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I go, you shouldn't fucking be mad at me. Like that, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, get over it.
Right.
Like, I love you. You know I love you.
Right.
Why are you so upset with me?
Yeah.
Just tell me that I made you mad and get over it. And then it's like, oh, that's the wrong thing to say right there.
Wrong thing to say. Because, I mean, that is, like, by definition, and that's, like, probably one of the number one issues in relationship is gaslighting, right? It's like, you shouldn't feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
That's gaslighting.
Well, I'm not telling her she shouldn't feel that way. I'm saying,
telling her you
I'm
shouldn't.
just telling, get over it.
Saying you shouldn't be mad at me.
Right.
Is telling her not to feel a certain way. I'm not. This is not me on a throne.
You're gaslighting
I do
me
that.
right
what I'm saying is I do that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, what's the big fucking deal? It's not that big of a deal. Well, like we talked about, chick with the phone in Southern California with a lot of money, right? That random example that you came up with a minute ago.
I guess I am gaslighting.
It's a big deal for her that her, oh my God, my fucking phone broke. I can't get into IG, right?
Right.
Big deal for her.
Big deal.
You tell her it's not a big fucking deal. It's gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
Right? It's a big deal for her. Poor lady hasn't been exposed to fucking real hardships in life.
Maybe I am the problem.
Maybe I am the problem.
Maybe I am the problem.
Yeah, it's but it all stems from the initial conversation, which is mentality. I think that's always why it's important to like address that. I mean, the majority of like the books that I read are about mentality.
Right.
It's about framework is what it's about. If you can build a framework from which decisions can be made and actions can be taken based on circumstances that happen, then life becomes a hell of a lot easier. It's like a roadmap, right? You get this framework built out around situations, but the only way you can really do that is either by physically journaling or internally journaling or meditating and like really figuring out what happened today. What did I fuck up? How can I make it better? And I think about that all the time because without that reflection, we are doomed to continue to repeat the same issues that that's been causing the problem. That's how I had like, that is one of the things that I had to deal with addiction, right? So when I was drinking all the fucking time, it's like, what are the things that are causing this? It's not triggers. You know, you hear that a lot. I think fucking therapists
I hate it.
I fucking hate it when people say it's a
sorry.
trigger. And I'm talking outside the fucking Gen Z. Oh, it's a fucking trigger. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that like, oh, that's going to trigger me to drink. Like going to the bar is going to trigger you to drink. Yeah. No, let's just be honest. Like going to the bar is not a safe place to fucking be if you're an alcoholic or you haven't been sober for very long. It's just not, it's not safe, right? You put your environment says a lot about how you behave.
Sex addict shouldn't go to the orgy.
Yeah. When I first started trying to get sober, I stopped bartending and I went out to the server floor, and eventually I just had to stop working at a fucking restaurant because there was too much alcohol there, right? But the safest way to do this is to remove yourself from the environment. There's that whole Vietnam thing, right? How hard is it to kick opiates? It is a bitch, right? It's highly addictive.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a very minimal amount of Vietnam vets that came back and continued to use opiates because they were separated from the environment in which the opiates were readily available to them in Vietnam. If you move yourself out of the environment that you're in, you're a lot more likely to succeed. With addiction, this whole trigger thing is, for me, it's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. It's environment, and everything is a fucking trigger, dude. When you're talking about everything's a fucking trigger when you're talking about being an alcoholic. It's like, oh, I'm happy, I'll drink. I'm sad, I'll drink. You know what I mean?
I'm mad, I'll drink.
It's fucking Tuesday. The fucking Browns won the Super. I don't even like the Browns.
Every time I stub my toe, I used to drink.
Dude, it's just the day ends in the fucking letter Y, dude.
Yeah.
Drink. Right?
Yeah,
It's not gonna
get
once
drunk.
The core principle, I think the core principle behind sobriety is really just fucking honesty. Like if you could just, and what I mean by
that's
that is
the core principle behind fucking life, dude.
Yeah. And I'm talking
humility and honesty.
Humility and honesty. It really is. It's humility and honesty are like some of the two core principles behind that process of being able to stop doing bad shit. I don't give a fuck if it's drinking or if it's sexual addiction or whatever it is. But if you, and why I say honesty is it doesn't mean you go tell everybody I am this thing.
No.
It means you tell yourself and you admit to yourself that like, I'm this fucking thing. I am this way. I am who I am. And until that happens, little to nothing can be done. Little to nothing can be done. Until you look in the mirror and say, I'm fucking fat, I'm unhealthy, then you're never going to say, I need to get healthy. Because if you tell yourself, I'm fine, I'm the same size as most other Americans, everything's fine, nothing to see here, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, nothing.
You have to be in enough fucking pain and be honest with yourself about who you are.
To change it.
To make a change in anything in your life. I mean, really, that is the baseline for change. Well, is recognizing there's a fucking problem in the first place.
Yes, absolutely. Like you know the phrase, you got to face your demons someday.
Yeah.
You got to face your demons.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
You the demon. You're the monster in the mirror. So like when you were saying you got to look at you.
While we talk about honesty, I'm going to forget to say this because I wanted to bring this one up one other time when we were talking about honesty, and I can't stand it. There is nothing more that grates my fucking that shreds my Parmesan more than this fucking thing, dude. It's when people say my truth or tell me your truth. What is your truth? I don't know what it is, but it makes me, it's like the thing, it's the sound that makes me want to punch a baby, dude. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just makes me want to do evil things.
I think of Anthony Jeselnik every time.
It's just like my truth, you know? It's just my truth. There is no your truth, motherfucker.
There's universal truth.
There is the truth, and there is your opinion about what the circumstances may be. There is your thoughts on it. There is your...
like you want to see a truth?
There's your take on it.
Gravity. Yeah. There's one.
Yeah. It's my truth. My truth is that this, and that. And half the time I hear, because usually when people preface my truth, some bullshit's about to come out of their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh,
it's just my truth.
It's an excuse.
It's my truth that I don't like. You know, I've realized that the 40-hour work week is just some bullshit is about to come out of the mouth of the individual saying,
I might agree with that one,
you know, and I can't think of any examples because usually when those words are spoken, I tune the fuck out because of my experience of listening to people saying dumb shit like that.
Well, it's my truth.
Yeah, there's truth. And then there's not truth. There's truth and there's lies.
And then there's what you're gaslighting yourself into.
And there's opinions. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's truth and there's opinions.
Exactly.
And it's okay to say, hey, my opinion is this. Here's my take on it. Here's how I see it. But don't for a second try to convince other people that the shit that you're about to say is true when it's your fucking opinion.
Dude.
Anyway, I'm off the soapbox for that.
It
drives me fucking crazy. And usually the cats that say it are, you know, they have a platform. They're fucking, you know, they're dangerously... they're dangerously like they have dangerously big audiences to where people will listen to that bullshit, right? And then pick it up and.
Well, you know what, Jake? I'm happy you shared your truth with us.
And that's just my truth.
Just my truth. I want to issue a challenge to you people listening. I need to do this as well, so I'm not just guilting you. But try this. If you're at home and you're listening to this, or you don't even have to be at home, wherever you are listening to this.
If you're on the toilet.
You're on the toilet. You're probably on the toilet. You're probably at work.
Near, far, wherever you are.
Here's the challenge. Every day for a week. At the end of the day.
Wherever. Go ahead.
I was waiting for more, please. We are on Spotify, so that tracks. Anyways, take 10 minutes at the end of your day and reflect on the day. Reflect on what you've done. Reflect on the things that you feel like you could do better, and reflect on things that you would like to change and things that you're happy about with yourself.
Take a little inventory.
Take a little inventory. Take that 10-minute stoic check, see how you're doing, and go into the next day with it.
And just remember that a business that fails to take inventory will inevitably go out of business. So think about it like that. I mean, your life is obviously not a business, but there's inventory that we could take in ourselves, that we should take in ourselves. Bad shit happens when you don't.
Yeah. And also, at least 10 minutes of exercise every day, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
just something. Just start with something. If you're not, just start with something. That's all that matters. Start with something.
Yeah, if you knock out 25 push-ups, it's better than nothing.
Yep. Do 26 tomorrow.
Do 26 tomorrow.
Right.
Incrementally, man.
Incrementally.
Those, compounding
gains.
Compounding habits are really, really incredible.
If you guys haven't listened to Atomic Habits,
yep,
we are not sponsored by them.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
book.
a phenomenal book. To sum it up, go listen to it, but to sum it up, it's basically performing and improving 1% a day is what matters the most.
Yeah,
it's not about these large changes. It's about 1% every day.
Yeah, it is. It's helped me. I can definitely say that I used to be a lot bigger asshole than I am right now. I've softened up a whole lot. I was able to stop drinking. I used to be fat. Like, there was a lot of things that I had that were bad habits. There were just a lot of really bad habits in my life, man. Right. The way I treated people, the amount that I drank, how unhealthy I was, how fucking fat I was, how poor I was. I mean, there was a time where I was living in my car. So it was like, if you just, I didn't go from living in my car to like buying a home. I had to go from like living in my car to like on somebody's couch to like renting a garage out to renting a room out to, what I mean? There's a progression, but if you incrementally do the fucking thing, you will eventually get to not living in your fucking car anymore. Yeah, but you gotta not like living in your fucking car.
You gotta not like it.
You gotta not like it.
You gotta not like it.
Because the thing is like, if you're just like, I live in my car.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
You're probably going to stay in your car for a while.
Probably. It's usually the way it works.
Till you hate it.
Until you really fucking hate it.
Until you really fucking hate it.
Pain is the price of admission to change.
Just with the quotes today, Jacob Dines.
Thank you.
With the quotes. I'm all about it, dude.
So
now that we're done preaching at you.
You could sign up for our seminar. For our coaching seminar to be a better human being.
This is the gospel of the second amendment right here, guys.
So, Shoddy Too Hottie with a Naughty Body. If you guys are going to make it out to SHOT Show, we're going to be there. It should be really cool.
Thought Show?
Have we discussed what we're doing at SHOT Show? What we're actually going to do?
I think we've talked about it in the Discord, and if we've talked about it here, we don't apologize for telling you again.
Yep. So...
we're taking SHOT Show, and if this is SHOT Show, this is what we're doing.
We're turning it upside down.
We're turning it upside down.
So what's funny is we paid for the SHOT Show booth like last year. It's non-refundable, right? And we got like a bigger space than we fucking needed. It was like 10 by 20, just way too big, way too much money. But the expense was paid. Can't get it back.
And we might as well use it.
We get towards the end of the year and we're all thinking like, we don't want to do this. Let's just not go. And I'm like, wait, we fucking paid for it. Okay. So now what are we going to do? Well, here's the deal. We can go invest $50,000 to $60,000 into a booth setup like most people do. minimum 20 to 30K. Most people spend around 50 to 60K. And you really get, everybody tries to come with the, if you haven't been to SHOT Show, everybody's got to have the nicest booth, man. It's got the LEDs behind it. They got these big machined signs that are out there, and music playing. These are amazing looking booths pretty much everywhere you go. And it's this like dick measuring contest for who can have the best booth. And what I saw when I walked around SHOT Show, what I really saw the common theme of is, and it's fine to do it because everybody's there to promote themselves. But what you see is me.
Very centric.
It's very centric. Look at me. Look at my company. Look at me. But of course,
right. That's what you're there for.
It seems to be that's why people are there, to promote themselves. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is you flip that on its fucking head, like you were just talking about, and you say, well, what's the opposite of that? Just like that little excerpt that I read out of Module 4 a little bit ago about leverage. Like, think, I hate to use the fucking Apple slogan. Don't sue me, whoever CEO you are of that agency now. I was going to say Jobs, but he's no longer with us.
He's like
right?
super dead.
Super dead.
He's not normal dead.
Whoever it is now. Yeah. Whoever you are, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not Wozniak anymore.
No. It's not Wozniak.
Cook?
Yeah, I think Tim Cook.
Cook.
Yeah, good call.
Anyway, I hate that I know all three of those names.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I hate that takes up space in my brain.
I know.
I've only got a certain amount of like data available up there, and just that's in there. It's taking up megabytes.
The rant. The only reason I brought up Apple. God, I get off on tangents. Think different, right? You really do have to think differently. When everybody is doing the same fucking thing, you think, hey, we're a tiny little guy at Tacticon. How can we be different?
You do, little guy.
I know how we could be different. I'm not going to have shit for the booth. You know what we're doing? We're setting up folding tables. I'm putting some fucking tablecloths over the folding tables. I'm not even going to have our fucking products displayed. What are we?
It's not a come look at me.
No, it's not a come look at me. In fact, it's going to look so bad that people are going to be like, what is that? I
don't even want to see it.
What is that shit box over there that doesn't match all these other glowing, amazing booths?
Hell yeah. Who are we between, by the way?
I don't fucking know, but it's probably somebody pretty important because we've got 10 by 20s. So we're in this like really nice kind of like location.
Aren't
like a
we like right next to L3?
I think so. Yeah. Somewhere in there. Yeah. Somebody fucking fancy. And it's literally just going to be a bunch of ragtag misfits at fucking Tacticon with a few tables laid out. I shipped a TV over there. So while everybody has these like big displays and LED machined out backdrops, we have like a TV with our logo on it. And underneath our logo, it says free shit. And all we're going to be doing the entire time. So I was like, invest 60 grand in a booth setup or bring $60,000 worth of our cost product, which is probably closer to mid 6 figures retail value product. And we are going to give it away. We're just going to give it away. We're just going to be like, hey, you want some Tacticon shit?
Hey, you want some shit?
You want some body armor?
Hey, you want some shit?
A rifle bag? Hey, you want an assault pack? Hey, you want, slings, optics? It's going to be...
We're going to be throwing it at people.
You should come dressed as Sandal Claus. You should. You should be Santa Claus. You should just have a little sign around you that says Santa Claus. We still have time to order a Santa suit. It would be pretty fucking incredible.
Dude, I'll walk around with a fucking bag and I'm just like, oh. And I'm just tossing shit out to people. Santa Claus. Embroidered.
Embroidered, yeah. Yeah, we can get it done, dude. There's an embroidery grab right across the street.
Perfect. Yeah. I think we probably should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope, I'm not going to tell them that.
What?
But keep an eye out for the Gundies because Jake and I will be there and we are going to be dressed to impress. You'll have to wait and see, but you'll love.
Did they televise
it? You can view it live.
Oh, you can view it live on YouTube? Yeah. That's sick. That's fucking rad. It's going to be live view on Gundies. Tune in. It is Sunday night or Monday night? Monday night.
Monday night. The 22nd.
The 22nd Monday night.
I think it's starting at like 6, 7, something like Pacific? That. I don't know. Fucking look it up.
Yeah, I think it's like 1800, 1900 hours Pacific time.
That's
I believe.
Military time.
So that is the 24-hour clock. That is the clock everybody should be on. I don't know what dumb fuck decided to restart. I don't know who decided to restart the fucking clock at 12 o'clock and go, you know what? We can't count to 24.
Whoa, hold up.
There are 24 hours in a day. Why do we count them by 12?
Because
I don't know. Maybe there's an actual. Have you looked into this?
I'll tell you why right now.
Things like this.
Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
It's because my first day starts at 6 and ends at 12. My second day starts at 12 and ends at 6. Every day that you have one 24-hour day, I have 2 days. I can do double the days that you have.
I need to.
I don't know. I need to
unhear that.
I saw some guy talking like that on a YouTube short. It's been stuck in here.
It's been stuck in your head the
It's
entire
been stuck
time.
rent free, dude.
Yeah, for me, I just wanted to punch myself in the face.
Yeah.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise.
I wake up at 2 o'clock. I beat my wife. I go for an 18-mile run. I drink 14 eggshells.
Dude, I heard this rant that fucking, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know how you feel about what's that guy's name that gets arrested in Eastern European country for like trafficking women but
What?
yeah, the dude, the fucking guy. I can't think of his fucking name right
The
now.
dude was
He's got a
the
brother,
Big Lebowski.
the Tate brothers.
Oh,
Andrew Tate.
wasn't he acquitted, or is that still going on?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with
Okay.
him.
Anyways.
I have no idea what's going on with him.
bald guy.
If he's fucking innocent, who knows? I don't know enough information about it. Then I wish him the fucking best if he's innocent.
Yeah.
That's not why I brought him up.
'Kay.
I brought him up because he is one of my fucking. You know me. I love to fucking troll. I love like when the whole world thinks a certain way. I like to go over here and think this way, right? And I just the people, he just pisses the fucking internet off, and I love that about him. I love that about him, right? I'm not saying that I'm some like massive Andrew Tate supporter. Again, I don't know enough about him to really speak about him, but I see these little things pop up every once in a while, and it's just like, it's him sitting in a fucking spa smoking a cigar, just talking shit about people who do cold plunges, talking shit about people that run marathons. And I think one of the things that I was watching him say the other day was he popped onto a short and he goes, "What the fuck is this like Iron Man bullshit?" He said, "So you're gonna tell me that for 18 hours you went and ran 26 fucking miles, and you went and biked 100 miles, and you went and swam 2.5 miles for what?
For nothing.
What for what?
Just to say you did it.
Just to say you fucking did it? Why don't you get in a fucking octagon with another dude? It'll take 15 fucking minutes. You got 3 5-minute rounds.
You make money.
And just beat each other's fucking ass. And then you'll know. Then you have something to talk about, right? Then you walk away from a situation, not wasting your time saying, I either won or I got my fucking ass kicked. And it was the way that he presented it, and he does it a hell of a lot better than me because he's like the ultimate troll.
He is the ultimate troll.
But I was just like, man, it's going to piss some people off. And then I hit the comments. I was like, show enough.
are
This
just
dude is
fucking
just
pissed.
igniting the internet on fire right now.
When you kind of realize that like Andrew Tate's whole thing is just to fucking piss people off, then you can really get like you stop taking stock in it, and then you can just enjoy it. You can just enjoy
That's
it
what I'm saying.
For
Yeah.
the internet. For the internet piece of content that it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't take fucking stock in it.
Yeah.
But laugh at it because
Yeah.
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Just
Like,
appreciate the fact that he's pissing off a bunch of people.
When
with-
fucking roided up Tate smoking a cigar and he's like, listen, if you don't do this, you're a fucking pussy. It's like, that shit's hilarious because you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where else are we going with this? SHOT Show. So the purpose of thinking differently behind this entire process is nobody's giving shit away. People are like, hey, look at this thing. Well, guess what thing that is? That is a thing that everybody else makes that looks the same as every other thing at SHOT Show. Because I'll tell you, if there's one exhibition that you can go to where there's been just about zero innovation year after year, compounding.
I can think of 2 right off the top of my head immediately.
What? The porn industry and
Oh,
the gun industry.
Oh, no. I thought
I
you were
haven't
talking
seen a
about
lot of innovation
exhibits
there either. I'm talking about exhibits.
Yeah.
This is the only...
At SHOT Show, right?
Yeah, I'm saying like every fucking exhibit at SHOT Show has zero innovation. There was only one that had some mild innovation, and that was Hollis. It wasn't even, I wouldn't even call it mild. I'd call it pretty significant. It was Hollison's thermal red
Thermal
dot.
optic, yeah.
It was their thermal optic that they had. It was cool. It was great. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about it. They were like literally one of the only ones that I saw that innovated anything at that fucking show.
So I was going to say,
and I'm not saying we do it either. I'm just saying like we weren't exhibiting because we had nothing to bring to the table. What am I going to do? Show you a belt that everybody else had?
right.
You know?
So I was going to say Glock,
Yep.
RIP Gaston, and any AR manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Glock is the worst. It's the fucking worst. Every year.
We took off the finger grooves. We put the finger grooves back on. We took a scallop out of the magwell. Oh, we put the scallop back.
Yeah. If you really just want to be entertained for a brief period of time, just go to the Glock booth and say, so tell me about this newest model.
Dude.
And they'll be like, well, you see this 4 that was here on this model?
It's now a 5.
It's a 5. That awesome.
Wow.
So, okay, cool. So it's a different model. Yes. Can I take my custom slide off my 4 and put it on the 5?
No.
No. Why? No reason. We just made it different enough to where you can't do that.
The dimensions are wrong.
The dimensions are wrong.
We decided
we tacked on a couple millimeters on the other side of it so that you can't use anything that was on the
We
previous
decided
one.
to move the sear engagement 5 millimeters forward. I'm just like, why? Why did you do that?
Now I can't use the shit that I had on it before.
I kind of want to, if you'll play with me here.
Yeah.
I might cut this out depending on if you play with me or not. Play a game with me, Ray.
Play a game with me, Ray.
Guessing SHOT Show. Let's take a couple guesses at what some of the booths are going to introduce.
Okay. Do you mind if I throw my phone across the room because this thing doesn't stop?
Yeah, mine's
fucking going
buzzing
off.
in my pocket
Jesus
right now.
Christ.
Feels kind of good.
Oh, if yours is going off and mine's going off, that's Slack.
Slack.
Guaranteed.
Slack-a-rooney.
Yeah.
They're probably like, emergency. Jake, Nolan, we need you.
Yeah, fuck that. I haven't. This is going to come as a surprise, but because we were working on the course and I have other shit to do that is more important, more pressing, and more dedicated to the Second Amendment, I hate admitting this, but to those of you watching, and this is actually a special shout out to fucking Ronnie at Bunker 530. If you're watching, probably not, but
Funker,
not Bunker. I have not checked my email, I think, in 6 weeks. I just turned it off. I was like, I got to work on the course. Dude, I'm scared. I'm terrified.
Dude,
Well,
that happens to me too, though, dude. So like, people are like, hey, can we get your email? We're trying to do these deals with you. We're trying to do this work with you. I'm like, sure, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing my work, and then I'm like, oh, I haven't checked my email in a month.
Like a month, yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
It's not so much that I forget. It's just like I know that it's going to take an entire fucking week or two of my life to go back and respond to things that is probably just people trying to sell me shit. So fuck it. So if a few of you guys like happened to get in there and emailed me and I didn't reply,
I'll leave his email down below.
Just wait longer.
Just wait longer.
Like Ace Ventura says.
Just wait longer.
That was my favorite line in the movie. He hopped into the dolphin tank. If I'm not back in 5 minutes. Anyway, go ahead.
Just wait longer. Okay. SHOT
I'll
Show.
play a game with you.
It's like SHOT Show bingo, but we're not playing bingo. We're just taking guesses.
Okay.
I bet. What are your bets for the Glock booth? What do you think Glock is going to be coming out with this year?
Man, I have no fucking idea, man.
I'm going to say nothing.
I have no idea. I don't think anything.
I think they're just going to be there as Glock. I don't think they're coming out with Gen 6. I think it's
What is Gen 6 even going to be, man?
Obviously, it's going to, like...
It doesn't, but the thing is, it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. It's like, I'm not talking shit about Glock.
No.
But look.
Fuck no.
Listen.
I love
Glock.
Glock.
This is amazing what you guys have done for the industry. But just pack up, leave some of the square footage at SHOT Show for the rest of us, and go home. Well, you've developed a product that is probably going to be superior to most firearm platforms for the existence of handguns. And because of that,
you fucked everybody else already.
You've killed the game. Go home and collect your $1 billion a year.
Glock is so bored because they did it.
Yeah.
The Glock perfection, right?
You've innovated.
They
to
sell
the point.
watches and horse cum now.
What?
Did you not know that?
Horse cum.
Glock, the company, is into racehorses, so they sell.
Got it.
Horse cum.
Yeah. Okay.
And they also sell watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, just start making other shit that has your brand name on it, and
What they're
capitalize
doing.
on that.
Horse cum.
Yeah. Or, dude, what are your thoughts on a Glock rifle? Dude, how
I
crazy.
hate the idea.
I know, but imagine this. Imagine if they put all their time, money, and resources into developing kind of a next gen, lightweight, all polymer with, like, if they did the same thing with a Glock as they did with an actual rifle, it could be pretty cool, pretty lightweight, and I don't know, it may change the game in a sense.
That would be pretty neat and nifty.
But
My problem is with NGSWs, next generation weapon systems. I keep looking at them and I'm going, I feel like we've kind of peaked.
yeah,
Like Stoner and Kalashnikov really just like
I know, man.
El Garote de Pepe. They kind of came in and
The
they were
only
like,
thing that
well,
was
I guess
really-
we kind of fucked up the game, didn't we? Kind of like
Yeah.
Glock.
Right. What would you say was the most innovative thing for the rifle that's been out as of recent?
M-Lock.
Okay, yeah, a component of the rifle, but I'm talking about
rifle in
a
general.
rifle. What are your thoughts on the Chris Vector?
I think it's super fucking neat, but it's a subgun.
Yeah,
I would like to see it in a rifle caliber.
right.
I would like to see that. I want to see a Vector operating system because I think it's a nifty design. I wonder how that would play out in a fully automatic, like, rifle caliber. Slap a 300 black on that. Throw a little fucking 6.5, 7-inch barrel.
Maybe we see something from them at SHOT Show this year.
Press X to doubt.
Press X to doubt.
I'm telling you, I feel like we're going to go to SHOT Show. We might see some optic innovation. We're going to see, I bet
Some
you,
thermal innovation for
we're
sure.
going to see thermal because that's the way everybody's turning right now. Everybody's going, okay, nods are out of the picture.
Yeah.
Everybody's got nods except for me. Fuck.
They're expensive,
But
dude.
they are. But
they're
and then they're shifting towards thermal now. It's like, okay, now we need to upgrade everybody to thermal. So we're going to see some major DoD players, probably like L3. I mean, technically, Holosun's not a DoD player, but I classify them as one anyways. We're going to see some stuff from probably like SIG, which is going to... Anyways, Aimpoint, we're probably going to see some thermal stuff there,
Yeah.
I'm taking a guess.
Yeah.
Most firearm innovation, I don't really see a firearm innovation come out. We'll probably see like somebody trying to do some bullpup stuff, maybe?
Maybe some 6.8, some rifles chambered in 6.8, trying to accommodate the new NATO round.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then
it'd be nice to see.
We'll see
I don't
some
know.
probably old guns coming back is probably what it'll be.
How about a railgun? I mean,
That'd be lit.
can somebody just do that,
That'd be
please?
fucking fire.
Can
Can we
someone?
just get some railguns?
Can we just get out of the combustion firearm? Because then they wouldn't be legally classified as a fire. They'll find another way to regulate it.
Listen, I kind of dig the combustion thing. I'm also still into ICE vehicles. Like the EV craze is on, and I'm like, I like the smell of gasoline.
Yeah, you like the fact that you can actually like take your vehicle to Tahoe and not have it not start.
Right? The weather is not like
The weather's not going to be prohibitive on you. Dude, people are taking Teslas into cold areas.
Why
of the
would you
world
do
and
that?
not being able to run the
Start
heat?
them.
Start them.
That's how batteries work.
Bro, it's a bad idea.
Well, so I want to
It's
say
just
something, and I might piss some of you off, and I don't care. On average, I think the dumbest drivers are electric vehicle owners. You're driving a Tesla, you're driving an off-brand Tesla, like a Chevy or something.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys are dumb. I'm going to say that right now. I've seen more dumb electric vehicle drivers, and I feel like the reason that is because most of them are like, oh, we need to save the planet. We need to cut down on carbon dioxide. And it's like, well, carbon dioxide helps trees grow. Anyways,
Well, there are implications for excessive CO2. in the
right. No,
atmosphere.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
and that's why all
I
politicians should
understand that.
stop flying their private planes and just get on a Zoom call.
It is pretty incredible what one private plane will fucking do as compared to driving a vehicle for like, I think 70 years. I think the number was you would have to drive a diesel truck every day for 100 miles for like 75 years to accommodate for the same CO2 output as one flight from the east to the west coast.
Yes.
It is incredible.
And these people...
I'm not advocating for, people not being allowed to fucking fly private.
No.
Yeah, to each his own. But look, the same people that are advocating for EVs are the same people flying these fucking jets from one side of the country to the other. And it's like, dude, you just took one flight.
They're also not driving EVs.
Yeah, you're not even driving fucking EVs.
AOC is not driving an EV. She's rolling up in an up-armored Hummer.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we digress.
We
What
digress.
what is fun to see though when you go to SHOT Show? What's amazing to watch?
The gun bunnies? No.
What's fun is like really like getting in there and finding all the problems that don't exist. So you're like, what is this? And they're like,
Like
well,
the ammo counters.
yeah,
Yeah.
the ammo counter.
Ammo counter.
So
We have a slide lock for a reason.
it attaches to your magazine, right?
Yeah.
And it counts the amount of rounds that are left in the magazine.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
that's
Magpul solved this with a little piece of plexiglass and an orange stripe.
imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Crazy.
So it tells you exactly where
How
your
many
rounds
rounds
are.
you're at. Yeah. Yeah, they put a little number on the side, so when you see the orange line, it tells you how many. You can just, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, and then if you really want to be surprised at the new invention, just ask them how much it costs.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh my god! And I
And you go,
I've
oh,
got to
yeah.
buy 7 of these for a full combat load.
And then you go, so when is
Sweet.
this coming to market? And then they go, oh, well, we're going to DOD trials first, and then we might offer it to the civilian market. And you go, gotcha.
yeah, he's not gonna fucking buy it. They buy the least expensive shit they could possibly find.
God, I love that quote.
And then everybody calls it mil spec,
Mil
and
spec.
then jerks off all over it.
Love it.
Yep.
Now, SHOT Show, for those who haven't gone and haven't experienced it, it's a time. It is one of the times that has ever been.
Yeah.
I'd put it like that. Growing up, watching the SHOT Show footage, I hate that I'm kind of like just dunking on SHOT Show, but like it is. Like when I was a kid, I used to watch all the gun tubers like fucking, here's what's coming up. Here's what, I think the problem is
It's good for once every probably 3 or 4 years.
that you just stole the word out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think the reason it's so bad is because us as humans, and we were just talking about it while setting up the computers, we're so used to things going fast
yeah.
that anything in slow succession is just ruthless.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the first time you've been there, even the first couple times, it's just like after that, it just kind of gets like, all right. You really just go for more of a networking, capability. So it's like, you run a booth there maybe a couple of years. You go there to network. It's a really convenient location for everybody to have their meetings all at the same time. Yeah. So it's like you can meet. Everybody's going to be there. So then you just set up a bunch of meetings while you're there. You do a lot of business while you're there. And you go the fuck home.
Do a lot of business while you're there,
There's a lot of business. If you want to see innovation, that's AUSA, so Association of the United States Army, or even like the Modern Marine.
What about SOF? Is there a lot of innovation at
There's
SOF?
SOF Week has massive innovation. I saw some really cool shit when I was out at SOF Week. One of the, just a lot of drone stuff out there, a lot of new drone capabilities.
But a lot of that's not even...
A lot of personal drone reconnaissance where like you can, like they've got drones that have a shotgun shell in the drone, and it will actually go out and recon and map out the interior, and it's dead quiet. It'll go map out the interior of a facility for you that you're planning on going in and running CQB in. It'll give you all the rooms. It identifies the threats. If it encounters a threat and it's been, caught, if you will, or if you set it up to do this, it will discharge the shotgun shell in said threat's face. It's pretty fucking cool. And you can leash it to where it'll like stay out in front of you like 10 fucking yards, and you can it'll clear the room.
Nuts.
It'll clear the room before you even get in there, and you can look down at your ATAC and actually see what's in front of you before you go into the room. It's pretty impressive.
Is there a lot of media that's allowed to SOF Week? I don't think there is. Is there?
There's media
bit?
there. Okay. Yeah, there's media there. They'll go in and interview guys. Like if there's anything that's like really kind of behind the curtain stuff, they wouldn't have it out on the floor because
Right,
you
that
don't need
makes sense.
you don't need a clearance to get out there.
Oh, okay. My
So
bad.
yeah.
bad.
I mean, it's not open to the public. You have to be in the industry, but at the same time, it's not anything that's kind of like secret squirrel stuff. There was something that you wanted to read to me. Oh, by the way, I do want to say this before we get too much further. All the guys in our Discord, if you guys aren't in Discord yet,
What are you doing?
Get down. What are you doing with your life?
What are you doing?
There is we'll leave a link in the description to the Discord. There'll be a link in the description for the 2A Pro course sign up as well. The Discord is fantastic. It is amazing. We're meeting amazing people in there.
Dude, yeah,
From
I wanna talk
not
about
just
that.
around our area, but also from all around the United States. It is an incredible place. If you are interested in a well-regulated militia, that's where it's at, dude. These guys are amazing. They train. They've got really good insights. There's a couple guys in there that I'm constantly. There's Nerdy's Musing channel that I'm constantly in there, just kind of poking around. You know,
he is. I love that man.
I know
so much.
He came out to the range day. We had a range day. We invited the locals out here. It was really fucking cool. We
had
ran
a phenomenal time.
So thank you guys for coming out. We ran a dynamic range, which was amazing.
Super fun.
We did the Alpha X-ray drill with everybody. We gave away some prizes. It was cool.
It was a good time. I just want to say again to all you guys that came out, it was not only awesome meeting all of you, but like finally in person.
Yep.
But you guys are some cool cats, and I'm excited to meet a lot more of you. The Discord is really, really a place where we are, and when I say we, like Jake has said, I'm referring to you guys.
Yeah, we as all of us.
We
everybody,
as all of us.
everybody
It's
watching
not,
this.
It's not us.
Yeah.
It's all of us, and mostly you guys that are facilitating it and keeping it alive, and we just keep talking about it.
Yeah.
But we are building a community, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because the gun community has been so divided as of late, and
This is not
divided
like
we fall,
this
together we stand.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Divided we fall. You said it. You said it there. It's like it's the complete opposite of like our tactical gear, like on Reddit.
Oh God.
It's the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
Like people aren't in there. We're in there talking shit to each other, but it's all out of love.
It's all out of love.
Very, very friendly.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. We're all on the same team, same fight, same mission.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And it's one of those things where I was having a conversation with someone in the Discord, and we were talking about it, and they were bringing up how, you know, one of the guys was kind of like talking down about other people's gear.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, listen. And I kind of squared it away. I was like, I don't care. It does not matter if you have Gucci gear, if you have subpar gear, if you have some in the middle gear, doesn't matter. But you can't shit on other people's gear.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can give them advice. You can talk to them about it. You can say, hey, here's why I like this.
Yeah.
And maybe you should try this out. Here's my concerns with maybe what you have.
Yeah.
But we're all here for the same reason, like you said.
Yeah.
We're all here to train. We're all here to uphold the Second Amendment.
I don't know. I almost kicked that dude off the range because you showed up in a T-Rex AC-1. I'm just kidding.
Austin.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
It's like, is that a fucking AC-1,
Is that
Austin?
an AC Uno? But yeah, no, you guys are fantastic. We love you.
Yep.
But
what were you you said you read something.
I read something and I was shook, and I don't really want to read it on the podcast because it's a huge fucking downer, especially when we're going to kind of wrap it up here in a minute. It's a huge downer, dude. I don't want to read it.
A huge downer?
Downer. It's sad. It's sad.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
I'll tell you after.
Oh, come on. Now everybody's going to want to know.
Fuck. Okay.
Everybody's going to want to know.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad about this.
Does it have to do with us, or does it have to do with something outside of our ecosystem?
Outside of our ecosystem?
Within the Second Amendment?
Not really.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just sad.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. All right.
Fuck.
I saw this on Twitter. Apparently this is from South Africa.
Okay.
So it's a post by this person, and it says, as a mother who wants to commit suicide, I believe you must take your children because this world is too cruel to leave your children in as orphans while you sit comfortably as an ancestor, especially if your children are minors. And then underneath that is a news outlet saying, Amina, I can't pronounce this last name, 31, and her 2 children, aged 10 and 5, were found dead in their rented room in Ivory Park's Tokyo section.
Oh, Jesus. I'll tell you one thing, man. There is nothing that can, I can already feel myself tearing up there. The only thing that really impacts me emotionally ever, consistently, is kids, man.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with kids, man.
Yeah.
It's like the number one rule.
Yeah.
You just don't fuck with kids.
You don't fuck with kids.
Yeah.
You foster them into better people than yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh God. That's why I didn't want to read it, because it's
that's
dark.
that's super fucking dark, but
I feel like this plays into what I said the other day in a post. Whoever read it, cool. I love you. Thank you for reading my post. But we need to raise strong sons and daughters so that shit doesn't happen.
You're absolutely right.
Because that was somebody's daughter.
Yep.
Who fell to the pressure of whatever it was and then took out her kids.
Yeah.
And that's rough.
And it, it begs the question. I know nothing about that case or
Right.
anything about it to speak on it, but I will say that, where was the father in the situation?
Right.
And that's why it really does that. That is the importance of a nuclear family. That is the importance of being able to maintain the traditional and, God-given network of a man, a woman, and children. Because when those things separate and they fracture and they break, so goes the people that are within those systems.
Dude.
So it's imperative that even if there is a divorce, and I'm not gonna lie, man, sometimes divorce for some people, it's a better thing for the kids, man. Like I've watched some scenarios where it's like, you guys just need to not be together because that's causing more harm than it is good to the kids that are in that environment. It could really, it could be
too violent.
It's violent. It's hostile. I mean, violence doesn't have to come with physical. Doesn't have to be physical, but emotional violence. And being subject to that type of shit myself when I was a kid, man. Before I was adopted when I was 6-7 years old, like right in that time frame.
When you're the spongiest of sponges.
The spongiest of sponges. I can attest to the fact that shit is horrific when you're a child and you don't know what's going on and you can't do anything about it and you're just watching these people beat each other's ass and occasionally kick your ass. Like it is, dude, it sticks with you for a long fucking time and it affects you for the rest of your life. And I still deal with that shit today. I mean, the stuff that happens to you when you're a young man or woman, it will impact you for the rest of your days, whether you fucking like it or not, man. And that is why it's so important just to take care of the fucking kids, man. You know what I mean? Tell them to fuck off when they're 18. I don't give a shit, but raise them right. You know, do the right thing by them and then tell them to fuck off. If you just want to be selfish and go live the rest of your life and never talk to them again, sure, it'll impact them a little bit. My dad just took off, fucking went to Thailand, never talked to me again. But at least in the formidable years, he took care of you.
Yeah, you were like, Dad was the best. And then something happened and he took off.
And he just left,
He taught me so many valuable lessons, but I never heard from him ever again. Okay.
Anything is better than doing it
when they're young.
When a kid is that young, man. Yeah,
it's I've told a couple people.
I've caught myself arguing with my wife for the kids, and I always try to stop and say, hey, let's go take this in the other room.
Right.
Let's not do this, because I can remember all of my parents' fight, even in my adoptive family that I was in. I can, they were very good parents and they were in a very loving relationship, but there were arguments they would get into, and even just very subtle, non-violent arguments, like completely normal married arguments.
Yeah.
I can remember almost every one of them. I don't know if I would have been able to had the trauma before that not happened, but man, I can remember.
You were so sensitive.
I was just like,
it.
Oh yeah, so
like, is this gonna kick off?
Is it? Like, it's just gonna kill each other right now, right?
Yeah.
No, of course not. You know, they love each other. They're in a healthy marriage, but it was just, it's amazing, like what it can do to you.
Dude,
And the second I hear, like, the second there's any tension or anything, it still affects me to this day to an extent, man. Because like, when there's something like between my wife and I, I'm like, oh my god, is it fucking just everything coming to an end? Is it over? And like, no, this is the way marriages work.
Yeah, this is how
normal.
Work.
This is how people work, right?
Yeah,
it is. It's important to note, man, that and that's why I don't blame people for not wanting to put their kids in fucking public education systems, because it's like you never know what these people are fucking doing to them and indoctrinating them with.
Or what trauma they're trying to dump onto them.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it affects the fucking kids. I mean, I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, right? But I do remember the name of every one of my teachers, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, right? 7th grade, even a couple of them. And then after that, I don't remember fucking anybody.
Right.
Not even one teacher. Like Mr. Bosch in high school. That's fucking it, dude. Like, I don't think I remember a high school teacher's name, but I remember all of them.
Because you are no mas sponge.
1st through 7th. Yeah. I mean, it really, you just kind of pick everything up when you're a kid, and, good habits, bad habits, all the above.
So
super important.
Let's end on something not so dark.
Yeah. Something scrap happy.
I heard this the other day from the good old GT, the Thumb of Grands, Garand Thumb. Yeah, he was on a panel, I guess it would be. He was on something. I don't know. We've said it before, but it feels good to hear it from somebody else with such a large voice.
Yeah.
He said, the Second Amendment was written to keep the government in check. And the fact that the government has any power to regulate it whatsoever is absolutely bonkers.
It is incredibly.
Let's take that real quick.
Yeah, just break that down.
The thing that is supposed to regulate the thing is being regulated by the thing it's supposed to regulate. That sounds an awful lot like company company A selling something, and company B is supposed to make sure company A doesn't break rules, but company A gets to decide what company B does.
Right. And in a very simple way to break that down is it's a huge conflict of interest. That is that is the definition of a conflict of interest,
Yes.
that you are regulating the one thing that is used to regulate you. Interesting. So, yeah, it is unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable
Yeah.
that the government has any of its paws in the Second Amendment whatsoever.
It
really is, because
absolutely baffling.
How are you going to regulate that? Why isn't there some other, like, if you even want to call it that, why isn't there a citizen-led, citizen-driven governing body
It was supposed to be.
for the Second Amendment?
Oh, for the Second Amendment.
For the Second Amendment. A citizen-led, citizen-driven governing body, not anybody that makes new rules or new laws, but just, some sort of body that says, hey, like, I don't know, like, this guy's building a nuclear bomb. Is that okay? No, don't let him do that.
I see where you're getting at. Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this. There shouldn't be any regulation in constitutional rights. It
Just
would be
like, hey, Steve next door is kind of stockpiling RPGs, and I've noticed his nose is a little white and he's a little twitchy. Maybe we should go talk to him.
yeah, maybe we should go check this out.
Maybe we should go check it out. Like, hey, Steve, you doing good about that?
Yeah. I'm not saying we should instate any red flag laws,
No.
but if you're out of your fucking mind and you've got an arsenal of RPGs, I would prefer it if you were distanced from those just a few feet.
Yeah, Steve, hey, can we solve your problem without the RPGs?
Or the cocaine.
Or the cocaine.
Just get one or the other.
Yeah. RPGs, cocaine, your choice. 50-50 split.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. It would be like the NIJ, right? The NIJ is the National Institute of Justice. They are the governing body for body armor.
If
They're
they
the
sold
ones,
body armor.
If the NIJ sold your body armor, but they were also the ones regulating whether or not the body armor was good enough to sell to departments and the public, right? And putting together those standards for body armor. Yeah, you could see where it's like,
They're going to be like, no, you guys don't
or
meet
if
our
the
standards.
certified NIJ labs that tested armor were also the ones that were making armor. It's just conflict of interest.
Super.
And so you've got a government that's like, hey, you've got this thing called the Second Amendment. It's, to keep us in check. But here we are with our stamp of approval or disapproval throughout the entire process of being able to exercise those rights.
It was written explicitly to
To
keep them,
not do that.
to keep them in
keep
check.
them away.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, hey, stay away from this. It's amazing. I know we talk about this every fucking podcast, but it's
hard
amazing.
not to.
It's just incredible that it says, like, don't infringe this. This is the one. Don't fuck with this one.
Hey,
This one right here, just go to number 1, move to 3 if you have to. Stay the fuck away from this one.
that one,
Stay
leave
away
it
from
alone.
it. It says
Leave
it
it
in it,
leave it alone.
which is insightful because they knew this is the one they will fuck with.
Yeah.
And indeed, it is the one they do fuck with.
And it's the one they fuck with the most,
It really is.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Written by 50% of the dynamic duo known as Thomas Jefferson and James Madison.
Yeah. If you guys have some spare time and you want to see some real cool shit and you guys all listening probably already know about this, but just go search through Steven Crowder's AR-15s are assault rifles, change my mind. Guns are bad, change my mind. Right? Like any of his firearm related, the Second Amendment should be
Change My
abolished,
Mind, yeah.
change my mind. Right? So, I think, okay, so I had that backwards. It's always going the other way. He makes a statement and then he says, change my mind.
Right.
Right. So all guns should be legal, change my mind.
Right.
Second Amendment should be left alone, change my
Right,
mind.
something like that.
They're fantastic. Though.
His
It
change
really
my
is,
mind segment, yeah.
And the reason why I love that is because you get just people that don't like the Second Amendment sit down and they have a debate, and it is impossible. It is virtually impossible for somebody to argue with anybody that has any semblance of knowledge about why the Second Amendment exists, what it is there for. You listen to these guys be like, well, it's because it's unsafe. And I'm not going to get into this whole dissertation. I'll let you guys go watch it. But it's almost too easy. It's like the easiest debate to have with people that don't like guns. It really is.
You pick it apart.
I've never been in a debate with somebody that didn't like the Second Amendment and had at any point in time was unable to answer a question. was unable to reasonably respond.
I thought that was going to go a completely different direction, but I'm happy where it went.
Oh yeah, no, I've never been in a debate with somebody where I was like, man, you stumped me. I don't have an answer for that. I gotta think about that. Oh, that's a really good point. It's always like, hey, we need to regulate all of this, and I'm just like, it doesn't matter what the angle that somebody tries to provide. It's very easy to dispel it based on historical evidence of why we have it.
Right.
I do have to go.
No worries. But with that,
so get down there, sign up for the Discord, sign up for the 2A Pro course interest list, and we will see you. Well, actually, the next podcast we're going to do is next week, and then we'll be in SHOT Show.
Oh, at SHOT Show, little drop a little tease.
Drop a little tease here and make it quick. We want you to tell us. Go ahead.
We want you. Uncle Sam wants you. We want you to tell us who you might want to see us podcast with at SHOT Show. So we're going to be holding up a little podcasting session in our room.
We will, yeah. Little casting couch.
Yeah, a little casting couch in our
We'll call
room.
it podcasting couch. And we will be
2A podcasting couch.
2A podcasting couch.
2A Procasting couch.
Procasting.
There it is.
Anybody who's anybody is really going to be there.
Yeah.
And so what
Anybody
we are
who's
going
anybody.
We're going to go look based on your comments, tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, people want to hear us talk to you. Come to my room, sit on my couch, and try not to get pregnant.
Yeah. And so I can tell you for sure that we at least, we're going to be with the Ballistic High Speed guys.
Which is going to be
Love
great.
those boys. We're
Mad Minute Tactician.
Mad Minute Tactician. King Picks, if we can manage to squeeze out some of his time. He's going to be a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Tim from Maxim Defense.
Awesome.
And maybe some more. So get down there, let us know, and then maybe tell those creators that you want to see, tell them.
Yeah.
Get in their comment section and be like, hey, the Tacticon boys are going to be doing this. You should get on with them.
Yeah.
I'll see if Micah wants to kiss. I mean, I'll see if he wants to get on the podcast.
I'm looking forward to it. So if there's anybody that we're not thinking of off the top of our heads that would be interesting, let us know and we'll go knock down their hotel room,
knock on their boots,
tie them up, and make them podcast with us.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. But with that, we bid thee a queef.